Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to film this video today because I have received many questions regarding my previous video. I just wanted to clarify a few things. When we have specific agreements, we're assisting each other in this journey through specific lessons, and as humans we love sharing experiences, but the problem with that is when you become too attached, that situation, that person, that job, that relationship, or whatever it is for you, that becomes your prison. You want to expand, but you feel bound to that person, to that job. You feel burdened. If you say this person or this job or this healer is responsible for my happiness, it means you're giving your power away. If you say this person is from where I get my validation, from where I get love, from where I get energy, from where I get abundance, or whatever it is, healing. But when the energy exchange is not equal from both sides, there is an imbalance there's a distortion, and there is a feeding dynamic, either from your side or from their side, or both. There is an imbalance, so you act out of an imbalanced state, and this becomes food for your higher aspects, not necessarily physically, because physically you're not aware that this is taking place, or you are up to a point. When you place someone above you, it means you become possessed by that person energetically. If you're a healer and you have people that come to you for healing, there is a point where you have to create boundaries. You come to me for this, I can assist you in this, but I don't belong to you, and you do not belong to me. There is an equal exchange of energy here. There is freedom, there is flow. So if we try to put our physical mind and create these blockages and create these rules, there is no freedom anymore. It feels there is no sovereignty, because we want to impose our will to that person, to that situation, to that job, and there is not enough room for creativity, for inspiration, for growth, for expansion, and for self-realization. So through this journey of self-realization, we become more and more refined. With every experience that we have that comes through contrast, through a negative experience, we learn and we grow. The more we experience these types of things, the more we mature, and the more we become more self-aware of our patterns, of the other person's patterns, and we learn not to repeat these situations, or we repeat them until we get more and more refined. We get the lesson that we need, even if it's painful at times. Also, in an energetic perspective, we become the temple of the higher frequency of the higher self to come through and express through us, and we assist others because we hold specific codes based on our archetypes and our soul groups, and things that we chose to transmute here in the physical. By being exposed to all these frequencies and situations and experiences is what allows us to grow and to see the metamorphosis in us, to note and witness the expansion and the growth that happens when we look back and we see the person that we used to be and the person that we are now. And this is how we feel the gratitude and purpose of everything that takes place in our lives. All these things are permission slips to help us overcome situations and close loopholes. And even though we want specific things to take place at specific times with specific people, and we manifest those things, sometimes there is a higher purpose and reason why things don't work out the way we want them to, because maybe based on your evolution you're not ready, or maybe based on that other person's evolution is not ready. So it doesn't mean that you will never be ready for each other. Maybe you will revisit your soul agreement again. There's also things that take place with betrayal. When it comes to twin flames, maybe you chose before incarnating that you would want to experience a physical connection together, and that person or you might not choose to fulfill that agreement, and there is other people involved. There is a betrayal that takes place because that person doesn't fully commit to you, and then this is how the imbalance and distortion starts. You want to provide, you want to give, and you hold space for that other person to step into their power and behave in a better way, or that other person is doing that for you in other ways. So if that dynamic no longer works, there is something that has to step through and end this. There is an imbalance there, so you're on a temporary pause until you adjust things, you shift perspective. So again, the contrast helps you to see who you truly are and to realize what takes place. So this is how you learn how to never allow anybody to be in between you and your higher self and your connection, and never put anyone above you. Even if temporarily that person is a healer, that person is a guide to you, and that person is someone who you have an energetic agreement to teach you something, but it doesn't mean that you're less powerful than that person, that you don't have your own power, that you are less than that person. Like, do you see narcissistic traits? Do you see those narcissistic traits in yourself? There's no reason for dominance or competition when it comes to that, because we're all equal. We're all here to learn and expand, and nobody is better than anybody else. So when you feel this trigger, internalize and work with your inner child. Another thing that I wanted to mention here is the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. There's always this okay, picture your brain and then cut it in the center. There's always this left wheel that is always spinning this way, and then there's always the right wheel that is always spinning this way, and there's always the center. Okay, when you come from the center, you are the chariot, you are this person, right? Guys, you are not the wheel, you are above the wheel, holding the reins of your reality, holding the reins of your mind. So this is mastery. This is where you take the distorted left and right side and bring it in the center and hold it there, and this is how you grow through your energy body. And this is how you learn how to operate with your Taurus energy, your Taurus fields as well, where I call them energetic wings, because the more you become self-aware and the more stable you become, the more grounded you are in your tree, in your inner tree as a tree. And this is where I expressed about the inner tree, the outer tree, the shadow tree, and then the light template. The stronger you become within your foundation, and the more grounded you are in your truth and in your true divinity, the more able you are to access your energy body and your wings. And especially when it comes to twin flames now, I will explain the energetic connection, the bond that you have through quantum entanglement. So that connection is very strong, because you literally are so similar that it feels like you are the same person. You reflect the same energy and the same connection with each other, so it becomes very strong. And that is why we cling on to these relationships and experiences, because they feel so familiar to us, they feel so strong that we don't want to lose a part of ourselves. It becomes a type of possession that we can break free from those chains, step into our power, so that when we're ready to be vibrationally pure, close enough to our true essence, only then we're able to experience what true unconditional love means, with freedom of being from both sides. So again, as I explained in the previous video, if we're not there yet collectively, we're not there yet individually. So we need to work on ourselves, work on our belief systems, work to close the loopholes and shed that old skin, moving forward into our true essence and allow this connection to come through, because you cannot rise above if you constantly have things weighing you down. So you cannot access the full capacity of your Taurus energy, your higher chakras, when you have things weighing you down. And things that weigh you down, not only belief systems. If you are the master of your own destiny, the master of your own reality, the creator of your own reality, you are free of judgment. You are neutral. You're not as susceptible to belief systems, and you are free in your throne, sitting in the center of your consciousness. You're more receptive to light. You're more receptive to elevated frequency. Now, when it comes to frequency, foods have frequency. There is energy in the things that we eat. There is lower energy and there is higher energy. Lower energy in the processed foods, higher energy in the natural foods, the fruits, the vegetables, minerals, and vitamins. You become more light. Light in not just weight, but light in density. You're not as heavy in your body, and you're more able to elevate. Like there is no gravity within yourself. You're able to move through your stream, inner tree, and connect to the inner verse, stars, and the inner connection that you have with yourself. This is also reflected with the sun and the moon and the stars, because we are that, and we can access that through the body, through our inner tree, and through the portal that I was explaining in the previous videos. You become the portal. You're able to access the dimensional portal. When you have balanced minerals and metals, then you can access the minerals and the vitamins through the ether, because it's interconnected, because it's all one. And the more you ground, the more you're able to elevate. And depending on your nutrition and with your gut health and your current, you become magnetic. You're able to use your Taurus energy. You have access to its electromagnetic spectrum. You're more able to feel your environment, to access your wings and light ground, and work with your aspects depending on your skill set, to clear your environment, to light ground, to assist others in your neighborhood, your family, anybody that is connected within your environment. When you see any imbalance, you're able to do something about it, because they're in your field. And the more you expand through your field, the more power you have. But you also have responsibility to be true, to be stable, to be pure and clear. But if there is someone else in your field and there is this imbalance going on energetically, where there's a feeding, it usually comes through our emotions and our thoughts. And so when you're constantly looping emotionally all these things, it's like you're possessed, and you have this block that doesn't allow you to step fully into who you are, and to step fully into your skills and abilities, and become the higher self, become the pure vessel for the energy to come through. So it means that it's an opening in your aura, the sphere, where lower frequency beings can knock your higher selves out and pretend to be you. You become manipulated by that being energetically, not by your twin flame per se, but by someone who is pretending from the astral that is you, that you have those belief systems, you have those emotions. It creates triggers in you so that it can feed off you energetically. And when you're not conscious that this takes place, you cannot break free until you find out, either through a person who has their third eye on, or another person who can see what is going on there, and that they can assist you in this. And this is very common. I'm not saying this to scare you or anything, but this is what usually takes place. It's like a clone that is pretending to be you, and is like whispering in your ear things that make you feel less than, and it plays with your weaknesses. So when you have weaknesses, you have openings. And especially if you drink alcohol or do drugs and stuff like that, you are very susceptible to these types of beings and entities, and they work through you or other people. If you're not energetically strong enough through your field, then it becomes a problem until you become strong enough that these energies bounce off your field. What you do is you internalize, you become self-aware of your triggers, of the things that take place and of those situations, and you strengthen from within, and you ground more, you do the inner work, and you don't allow anybody to block your light. So this means no matter who that person is or the good things that did for you, you're grateful for them, but when you see an imbalance, you have to do something about it, and you have to become aware of the other things that go on behind the scenes, as I said, when it comes to agreements and possession and attachment. Because lower frequency, it's like it has a net of its own, and it contains artificial things that can bind into certain bacteria and metals within the body, and chemicals, etc. So that's why it's important to clean your gut and to have balanced nutrition and to exercise, so that this energy moves through the body, new blood filters through the organs, and there is this momentum that keeps your energy body spinning correctly, and it's not in reverse. What is the solution to this? Is maintaining your center and training through the mind and the nervous system and the body in general, the chariot per se, coming from the center of the brain, becoming the master of those two hemispheres that spin, and they create their own loopholes and stories and energies, and drain the center energy from the left and the right side. All the things that we've talked before in this channel, in the blog posts, you'll learn how to work with Gaia, with your Taurus field, how to operate within the tree, and to raise in frequency and be able to feel more of who you truly are and operate within the portal that you are. Use the light template. So how do you become aware of that distorted energy being in your field? When you are in a victim mentality, when you have the blaming thing going on, it means that your ego is behind the wheel, right? I will link a video below that my brother Sevan Bomar talked about, and he's really good in explaining these things, and I love the way he's explaining and helping people through these things. So he explained about the lover of self and the destroyer, as we all go through both things. We are both things, but when that clone is in the suit, it's trying to block your light, it's trying to turn you off and to not allow you to access your abilities. In order to not do that, you realize your own triggers and your own shadow and your own energy that creates openings to those beings to come through. You are the destroyer too, and you are here because you learn from this experience. It's this game of let's say illusion, that we are separate from source, and we come here to experience the lower frequencies and bring fractals of ourselves back into alignment. So we take those lower selves and we elevate them through what we go through, and we integrate them into our suit, into ourself, and that's how we help the earth evolve, and we help this game shift faster, because we take those lower aspects and we integrate them back into light collectively. We experience how it is to be the victim, we experience how it is to blame and to be blamed, burdens and grief and all the things, to become the master. And the master is in the center. The master understands the reason why everything happens and how everything serves in the journey. So to be receptive to light, you go through these experiences, not to play the victim, not to be in service of self only, but we are here for the people who are not aware that this is taking place, and we're here to shift the entire planet. So when you zoom out, you see the whole concept behind it, that you're not the only person experiencing this. There is a whole thing going on, and you're just here holding the codes and being the light warrior that is in the front lines, fighting for the people, fighting to gain back the sovereignty of the consciousness, win the war on consciousness, from the beings that think they are superior, and even that provides us the experience of growth. So we don't blame the other people that think they're superior to us, but we see that they are helping us grow, and they're helping us close the loopholes and transcend and elevate in consciousness. Even if there is distortions, and even if there's difficulties, there's all these things that take place that feel out of alignment, stealing our sovereignty. But again, this is also the way of service that they provide to us, because we're in this to grow collectively and to learn how to remember who we truly are again, and step into that power and come from the center and operate from that center point through the unified field of consciousness, where all our visions and our manifestations are in alignment with the highest destiny. And this is where there is balanced relationships, balanced jobs, balanced twin flames that become soulmates. There's just being. And the more we experience this, the more we heal it. And the more we heal it, the more we're able to access it and elevate it and become that timeline that we so much wish to experience. And there's no distortion there, because there's no opening. We always have that energy within ourselves. We have the guidance, we have everything, but we have to, be receptive to that energy. We have to be receptive to light, and to do that, we have to release all the things that are holding us down by going inwardly and going back to basics, feeling the triggers, understanding the triggers, and working with our inner child to change perspectives and see the whole picture, and see the reason and the vastness of everything that we are experiencing. So we go through the extremes to come into the center, because we close that hole and the loop and that portal. This doesn't happen in a day. It's a constant training. We go through so many experiences that seem repetitive, just like I explained in the previous video talking about my friend. I may write this in a blog post, so check the link below in a few days. Yeah, I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk today. Let me just check my notes for a moment. What can lower the vibration of the body? So when you notice a feeling or a negative thought, or you notice something in your environment that is not in balance, that comes out of distortion, that is distorted, that acts out of alignment, that's usually a sign that there is someone in the field and in your space that is causing that. If you can shield your space, you can clear your environment, sage, you can put crystals in the corners around the house and claim your sovereignty, claim your space. So when that bad energy comes, it indicates that you came into contact with something that has taken your frequency into the wavelength that they operate from. Sometimes it happens through openings that we create through our bad habits, like nutrition, lack of exercise, lack of purpose, lack of vision, laziness, all the things that create stagnance. Maybe it comes through certain types of foods, from certain people, from situations. Like, they're all around, so they're all here to train us and to teach us how to become stronger and how to raise the frequency that is reflected within the self, because we all have that. So the purpose of that being, not to be feared, is to teach us to not have any openings anymore, transcend limitation into wholeness. I hope this video helped you even more than the previous one, because usually I process information for a group of people, and usually that's in relation to my archetype, and certain types of people come into my life and there is a theme playing out, that then I somehow enter that theme and experience it myself, and then I'm able to provide my own download through it of how I worked through it, or how I overcame it, and how to assist the other people too. So I hope this is helpful to you. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe so that I know you like this type of content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.